What do we mean when we say that two things are identical? And can two different objects be exactly the same? Hello everyone, and welcome to the Sound and Sophia channel. Today we will be discussing Leibniz's law, or as it's frequently called, the identity of indiscernibles. As you may realize, this principle of Leibniz's law was first proposed by Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz in his Discourse on Metaphysics, section 9. That every individual substance expresses the whole universe in its own manner, and that in its full concept is included all its experiences together with all the attendant circumstances and the whole sequence of exterior events. There follow from these considerations several noticeable paradoxes. Among others, that it is not true that two substances may be exactly alike and differ only numerically. If we were to formulate this principle, it would look something like this. And if you can't read these nerdy odd symbols, it translates to: if for every property f, object x has f, if and only if object y has f, then x is identical to y. Or an easier way to explain it is, if x is identical to y, then everything that is true about x is also true about y. For instance, here we have a blue cube, and if I were to make an exact copy of it, are these two cubes identical? Well, it seems like it. They are both blue, exactly the same height and width, and contains exactly the same amount of atoms and particles. But it is actually the case that they are not identical. For the philosopher McTaggart realized that if Leibniz's law is correct, then if you can find one proposition or property that is true of only one of the objects, then they must be distinctly different. Or better formulated, if x and y are distinct, then there is at least one property that x has and y does not, or vice versa. McTaggart called this principle the dissimilarity of the diverse. If we go back to my example about the cubes, we can actually find one proposition which is true about only one of the objects. For instance, the predicate having something to the left. This property is only true about x. There is nothing to the left of y. So in matter of fact, they are not identical. So Leibniz's law is about self-identity. For instance, if we talk about the author of Alice in Wonderland, Charles Dodgson, who wrote under the pseudonym Lewis Carroll, everything that is true about Charles Dodgson is also true about Lewis Carroll. You cannot find a proposition which is false about Lewis Carroll and true about Charles Dodgson. Leibniz's law is a very important tool in our philosophizing. We humans tend to make up several different words that refer to the same object. So in order for us to figure out if two words is actually referring to exactly one object, this principle is quite handy. I think you do realize why this principle is so important. For instance, when we discuss the issue of persistence through time. When I was a child, I was a very smart young person, but now I'm old and stupid. So me as a child, according to the principle of identity of indiscernibles, are not identical. But wouldn't we want to say that I am identical to my past self? What do you guys think?